Ladies and gentlemen, everything that goes up will come down. The question is, at what rate will it come down? Will it come down slowly in a controlled demolition sort of way? Or will it come down quickly? Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Welcome ladies and gentlemen. As the stock market continues to gain record highs, there are economists out there that are predicting a crash of 65 to 80% this year. Now let me tell you why I agree and disagree with this. But first, let's take a look at this article really quick. A year ago, macro strategist David Hunter predicted a massive melt-up in financial assets, to be followed by an equally tremendous market crash. Well, he's certainly been right so far on the melt-up prediction. And I remember stating a long time ago, I'm not patting myself on the back here, but I remember stating a long time ago on several of my videos that there's two ways that we can go. That we can either melt up like Venezuela, their stock market is just booming, or we can crash. One of those two things. But the question is when? And that's the question that no one will be able to predict. All major stock indexes are trading at record highs, and valuations have never been more stretched. And it has never cost the average American, ladies and gentlemen, more hours worked. Remember, your hours worked is your real wealth. It's never cost the average American more of their hours to buy the Dow Jones. In the past, between 1964 and 1994, it would only cost the average American 225 hours of their labor to be able to buy into the Dow Jones. Today, what, 5 times more roughly? So having correctly called the current melt-up, will Hunter's prediction of 65 to 80% crash in prices this year come true? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that it can if we have a liquidity crisis. Now, to put it in layman terms, a liquidity crisis is pretty much when you can't cash out, right? Let's say, for example, that the bank that you go to has a liquidity crisis. They're going to close their doors because they don't have enough money on hand to cash you out of your deposits. He continues to say that time will tell, but as extreme as that kind of drop may seem, history is on David's side. Ladies and gentlemen, everything that goes up will come down. The question is, at what rate will it come down? Will it come down slowly in a controlled demolition sort of way? Or will it come down quickly? Whenever excessive debt has enabled market multiples to distort to unsustainably excessive heights, which is what is happening right now at unprecedented levels, a painful correction to clear out the bad debt and malinvestment has always occurred. He predicts that those who preserve their capital through the coming crash will have the opportunity to deploy it at very advantageous terms as the next recovery begins. Pretty much he's saying that if you're sitting on assets that are actually worth something after this next crash, that you'll be able to take those assets and use them to purchase all of the things that are now valued very low, or that are actually at fair market value and have not been pumped up by quantitative easing or money printing. Now let me show you why I think that this is not going to happen this year. So previously I said that I think it can happen this year. It definitely can, and it should have happened a long time ago. But let me show you why I think that it won't. This next article here says the price will be high, trillions in fiscal stimulus. So the incoming administration is promising to inject trillions of dollars in fiscal stimulus. Now, ladies and gentlemen, where are those trillions of dollars going to come from? That's the question, right? I think we all know that. They're going to print it out of thin air, and then they're going to use the wealth that we have stored in the dollars that are currently in circulation to fund the wealth that will be injected into the dollars that they print. The incoming administration called for trillions of dollars in immediate further fiscal support, including increased direct payments to kickstart the economy from the shutdowns, which will expand under that administration. The price tag will be high. The incoming administration promised to lay out their proposals next Thursday before taking office on the 20th of January. It will be in the trillions of dollars. Ladies and gentlemen, that money that is being printed out of thin air has to go somewhere. Where is it going to go? I would guess that most of it is going to go to corporations and to the elite. And they will be able to spend those monies first before the average person can. Now, why does that matter? If you have a large corporation, or if you're already worth $1 billion and you get another $1 billion, is that going to improve your standard of living? No, it's not. What are you going to do with that money? There's really only one place to put the money. Well, I mean, you can put it in a savings account and have it draw 0 interest pretty much. Or you can put it into equities, i.e. the stock market. And by putting it into the stock market, it's going to increase the cost of the stock market itself. Meaning that the stock market is going to continue to go up and up and up. I believe that we are in a melt-up phase, and I believe that the stock market is going to continue to go up. It's going to continue to go up. Because most of these trillions that are going to be printed, I do not believe will be going to the average man on the street, i.e. you and me. Sure, the monies that the average person gets, more than likely they're going to spend it into the economy, which will kick up the velocity of money just a bit. But I think that most of it will go into the stock market. And that's why I think that the stock market has a very good possibility of continuing to rise throughout this year. And who knows, maybe next year as well, depending on how long this money printing goes on and if we don't fall into a liquidity crisis. If we fall into a liquidity crisis where there's not enough cash to go around because it's all trapped somewhere, then we're going to see the biggest crash that we've ever seen in the history of mankind. We're going to see that crash anyways. It's just a matter of time. But when will it happen? I'm not a financial advisor, but that is why I am a very big advocate of protecting your wealth, your excess wealth, after you have everything you need put away, ladies and gentlemen, to survive a prolonged period of time. If you still have excess wealth, get things that you know you're going to need in 2, 3, 4 years. Because in that time, those things are going to increase in price dramatically. If you're not on Patreon, or if you're not on my ladies and gentlemen's club, consider joining, because I am putting together a small series of things that I am doing to preserve my excess wealth. I am getting things that I know that are going to make my life easier, and I am turning any excess wealth that I have after I've purchased those items into a vehicle that history tells me will preserve the value of the wealth that I have in it, and that is gold and silver. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all have a good day and a good week ahead. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper. I'm out.